New this morning, former NFL player Michael Oher's lawyers are seeking information about his high school records and payouts from the movie The Blind Side. This is all according to ESPN. It's all part of the Oher's push to end a conservatorship. The Toohey family took him in, of course, when he was in high school. Oher says he thought it was an adoption up until a few weeks ago and says he never got any money from the movie. So joining us this morning is our legal analyst, Whitney Traylor, to help us understand this case a little bit more. So, Whitney, a point of contention in this case seems to be that, he thought this was an adoption, but it turns out it's conservatorship. Tell us which is which and what the difference is.
Right. Well, we were just talking, a lot of us have learned conservatorship from the Britney Spears situation. And there is a big difference. So the conservatorship is one in which usually there's a psychological or a physical or some kind of mental impairment that prevents a person from understanding things, making decisions. And so a conservatorship will come in, be able to sign contracts, essentially act for that person. And so they have control over everything. An adoption is where the person really just becomes their child. And here the Tooheys said, well, we couldn't adopt you because you were over 18, so we had to do the conservatorship. That doesn't really add up, though, because in Tennessee, you can adopt after 18. And he's saying, Michael Oher is saying, well, this prevented me from millions of dollars. But the question there is, well, what contracts or what situations would you have entered that you weren't able to because of the Tooheys? And that doesn't necessarily add up.
Yeah, so the judge has a pretty tall order in front of them. They have to decide who is telling the truth and who is not. How do you even go to begin that process?
Right. No, that's a great question, and it really goes to the heart of our litigation system. So here they would probably have a jury, and so the jury is the trier of fact. They're the ones who are going to look at the witnesses, see if it adds up. They get to judge credibility. We're one of the few countries in the world with a jury system. And so things like, so both sides are going to come up and say, hey, they told me it was, he's going to say, they told me it was an adoption, and here's all the ways I've been harmed. They're going to say, no, we always treated him the same way and as our other kids and everything else. And so this is where sort of indirect evidence comes in. So for example, if the Tooheys said, well, we couldn't adopt because he was over 18. And if the law does not support that, then the jury's going to say, well, that doesn't add up. So that's kind of how, and that's how our system works.
Yeah, but what about direct evidence? So again, the new development in this is that Michael Oher's attorneys filed those 3 subpoenas trying to get documents from the production company who made the movie The Blind Side, the family's talent agency, and the Memphis school system. Surely somewhere there in ink, you're going to find the answer. What are they hoping to find by requesting these documents?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what they're seeking. I mean, the issue here is two issues. Liability, did they do something wrong? And then damages. Did that result in some financial harm, physical harm, some harm like that? And so here, I don't know, maybe I know they were seeking the records on the finances in terms of how much the Tooheys were paid, and was Michael Oher paid less, and they're saying no, it was all legit. So that is one thing. Why they want his own attorneys want his high school records and things like that, I'm not exactly sure. But we're very early. The Tooheys haven't even responded to this. So the strategy, the legal strategy, there may be a number of reasons why they're doing that. We'll find out later.
Okay, with the 30 seconds we have left, can you briefly talk about what comes next? Do you expect a counterclaim of any kind?
Well,
countersuit?
Yeah, there could be a counterclaim. Now, if here somebody's lying, if he's saying, hey, they said they adopted me and they didn't, this can be proven with records and things like that. And after the fact, if one side wins, then they may want to bring a malicious prosecution or an abusive process saying, hey, you were using the legal system improperly. So that could possibly come up, but we're so early in, no facts have come out yet, so we have to watch it and see.
A case that is capturing a lot of attention from across the nation. We'll, of course, be keeping our eyes on this as well. Whitney, thanks for being with us and helping us understand a little bit better.
Sure thing. Good to be here.